Jacob was a simple man, a farmer who lived alone on his family's sprawling farmland at the edge of a small rural town. He was known for his kind heart and strong moral compass, always ready to lend a helping hand to anyone in need. Life on the farm wasn't easy, but Jacob found solace in the quiet rhythm of tending to his crops and livestock. Though he had faced his share of hardships, including the loss of his wife years ago, Jacob had managed to build a life of quiet dignity. It was a chilly evening, and dark clouds were gathering on the horizon. The radio crackled with a storm warning, urging everyone in the area to take shelter. Jacob, unfazed by the weather, went about his routine, securing the barn, covering his equipment, and checking on his animals. He was preparing for another solitary night, completely unaware that his life was about to change in a way he could never have imagined. The storm hit with a vengeance, bringing torrential rain, howling winds, and bursts of thunder that shook the walls of Jacob's modest farmhouse. As he sat by the fireplace sipping a cup of coffee, he heard an unexpected sound, a faint knock at the door. Jacob frowned, unsure if he had imagined it, but then it came again, louder this time. When he opened the door, he was greeted by a heartbreaking sight. A young girl, no older than 12, stood there drenched and shivering. Her clothes were soaked, her face pale, and her wide, frightened eyes looked up at him as she clutched a small backpack. "Please, sir," she said in a trembling voice, "I got lost in the storm. Can I stay here for a while?" Jacob's heart ached for the child. Without hesitation, he stepped aside and motioned her in. "Of course, come in. Let's get you warm and dry," he said gently. Jacob quickly fetched a blanket and draped it around the girl's shoulders. He guided her to the fireplace and handed her a cup of hot cocoa. As she sipped it gratefully, he asked, "What's your name?" "Lila," she said softly. "Well, Lila, you're safe here," Jacob assured her. "But how did you end up out in the storm?" Lila hesitated, her gaze dropping to the floor. "I've been traveling. I got separated from the people I was with." Jacob could tell there was more to her story, but he didn't press her. Instead, he focused on making her feel comfortable. He prepared a simple meal and shared stories about life on the farm. Lila listened intently, occasionally smiling at his anecdotes about the mischievous goat that always found a way out of the pen. Despite her initial wariness, Lila began to relax. She laughed when Jacob mimicked the goat's bleating and even shared a few details about herself. She loved animals and used to have a dog named Max. However, whenever the conversation veered toward her current circumstances, she quickly became quiet again. The next morning, the storm had passed, leaving the world washed clean under a bright, clear sky. Jacob made breakfast and offered to help Lila find her family. Her response, however, was hesitant. "I'm not sure where to go," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Before Jacob could ask more, the sound of tires crunching on gravel drew their attention. A sleek black car was pulling into the driveway. A well-dressed man stepped out, his expression serious and unyielding. Jacob instinctively stepped in front of Lila, shielding her from view. "Good morning," the man said, his voice measured. "I'm looking for a girl. She's about this tall, with brown hair. I believe she's here." Lila clutched Jacob's sleeve. "That's him," she whispered fearfully. "He's not my father." Jacob's eyes narrowed. "Who are you, and why are you looking for her?" he demanded. The man's expression hardened. "That's none of your concern. Just hand her over, and there won't be any trouble." Lila clung tighter to Jacob. "Please don't let him take me," she pleaded. "He works for someone who's trying to hurt me." Jacob squared his shoulders. "I don't know who you think you are, but this girl isn't going anywhere with you," he said firmly. The man glared at him but realized he wasn't going to intimidate the farmer. "You'll regret this," he hissed before storming back to his car and driving away. Jacob wasted no time. He called the local sheriff and explained the situation. Within an hour, the authorities arrived, and Lila's story began to emerge. She was the daughter of a wealthy family who had hired the man as her bodyguard. Instead, he had tried to exploit her for ransom, and she had escaped during the chaos. Lila's parents arrived later that day, their relief palpable as they hugged their daughter tightly. They thanked Jacob profusely, offering him a reward for his bravery. Jacob declined, saying, I was just doing what anyone should do." Before leaving, Lila turned to Jacob with tears in her eyes. "Thank you for everything," she said. "I'll never forget you." Jacob watched as the car drove away, feeling a sense of fulfillment he hadn't known in years. The storm that had brought Lila to his doorstep had also brought him a renewed sense of purpose. In the days that followed, word of Jacob's bravery spread throughout the town, making him a local hero. More importantly, it reminded everyone of the power of compassion and courage in the face of adversity. The true value of life isn't measured in wealth, but in the kindness we show to others. Jacob's actions were a testament to this timeless truth. Inspired by this story? Like, comment, and subscribe for more tales of courage and compassion. Share your thoughts below.